Finding out new ways to make more money fast always makes me excited. Does it make you excited? Well, if it does, you better stay tuned because that's exactly what I'm talking about today. Hey, Frank Thomas here from Wealth Generation Strategies. Today I'm going to be talking about learning how to save fast. I know I've talked about this in other videos, but I felt it was a topic that needed to kind of be rehashed and rethought and represented in a different way. And the reason what really got me excited about it again is a book from a Noah Kagan called $1 Million Weekend. Hey, Future Frank here. I realized when I was reviewing the video that I cut for this particular episode, I really didn't tie the idea of saving fast to this book I'm going to be talking about. The whole idea is this book is going to teach you how to release products fast. You learn how to release products fast, and you can make money fast, and you can save fast. That's kind of the whole point. So I'll get back to the video. I picked it up about a week ago, and I've already read through half of it. I've still got the other half to read, to be bluntly honest with you, but I read the first half, and I was really excited because it reminded me of a lot of things that I've done when I've done successful product launches. Yes, we're going to be learning how to launch a product, but also what I've done to launch an unsuccessful product too. One of the points he brings out, and I tried hunting it out in the book, but I just couldn't find it, was you have to make sure that you think like an entrepreneur. You got to think like somebody who is out there to sell an idea, not somebody who's corporately thinking. And now we like to corporately think. What we like to do is we like to think, oh, I've got this great idea. I've got this widget here. It's going to solve world peace. Everybody's going to be fed, etc., etc., etc. And instead of going out and talking about their idea, what happens is they will start to build it and start working on it and get more skills so they can satisfy all the needs of the product. Work on it for 6 months or a year or 2 years or 10 years. They never launch, or they launch an unsuccessful product. Years ago, I had an idea for a really, I thought it was an awesome idea. So I committed 3 months of my life to building a website which was a training information website on this particular topic. And I cut all the videos, I did all the work, and I did all the sweat, blood, and tears, the whole 9 years. And I sold exactly 0 copies of it. Literally 0 copies. And I was dumbfounded. What happened was I built a product nobody wanted. Now let's look at the inverse here. There was one time that I found a product that had hungry people who wanted it. So I built it, but I talked about it first, and I'm going to get into these details a little bit deeper here in this video. But I built it, and I sold close to $1 million in the first year. What was the difference? Everything. And this book here gets into all these nitty-gritty details. One of the very first things is share your idea. And most of all, you want to sell the idea. You want to get not promises, but sales. Even if you haven't got the product done yet, make it an enticable product. There was one time that I hadn't built the product, but I wasn't sure if it was going to sell very well. So what I did was I said, hey, before the product is built, I'm going to be doing this, and if I don't, you'll get a full refund. If that's the skinny, you're not going to be out any money on this one. But you're buying it before I build it. I need to know whether or not this is something that's going to interest you. By the end of the weekend, I had put over $30,000 in my bank account. $30,000, and this is not a lie. This is not an exaggeration. It was at least $30,000 into my bank account because I sold the idea with the promise that it would be delivered within the next 30 days. Wow. We only had one person come back, and he didn't read, or he just bought it. Didn't really look at the sales sheet and realized that he wasn't going to get delivery right away, and he demanded a refund. So I said, that's fine. I'll give you a refund. So I gave him a refund. It was no sweat off my back. I think we were charging $100 a head to get access to this information. So it wasn't a huge deal, but we only had one refund. And what we did is we went and delivered on our product. Now, what I see a lot of times, and I've seen this time and time again, I had somebody approach me, and they had this idea. I got this $1 million idea. It's the idea of all ideas. It is the holy grail of ideas. He had me sign a non-disclosure. I knew I was It was a mistake to talk to this fellow because he had me sign a legal non-disclosure that he had his lawyer draft up, and then he discussed his idea to me. Well, the idea was a good idea. I thought it was a good idea. But then he said to me, what should I do next? Money is, I haven't got a lot of money, and got to get this to market. What do I do next? Because I know you've created a lot of products in the past and you have a lot of experience. I said, absolutely. I said, what you need to do is you need to go sell your idea. Oh, I can't do it. I can't share this idea with anybody until it's done. And I've got some patents against it, and I've got this and I've done that, and I gotta go spend $10,000 with lawyers, and I gotta really think this through. And I said to him, you're wasting your time. You go down this route, I can promise you're going to lose $10,000. You might protect the idea, but you don't know if the idea is saleable. Really important. Is this a saleable idea? It's better for you to take the chance and share some of your idea and see if people are willing to buy it. And this goes to my next point here. Don't look for promises of sales. Look for real sales. I remember listening one time to a interview. This person was talking about learn to discern between somebody trying to appease you and somebody who's really interested in buying. He used to work in focus groups where they were talking to a group of people who might want to purchase a particular thing, a widget or whatever it is. What they would do is they would do this focus group and they'd say, oh yes, we have this, we're looking to sell it for $99. This is what it does. And of course they get a lot of people, oh, that's a really good idea. We really like that. Where's the free lunch? Where's the free lunch? They're looking for the free lunch. What this fellow would do was after they had held the focus group just before the free lunch, is he'd say, as a matter of fact, I have a few samples and I'm willing to sell them to you today. Who's ready to buy the first sample? He said he always saw a big difference between the people who said, oh, that's really neat, to the people who would pull out their credit card or pull out their wallet and pay the $99 or whatever the price of the product was. It was a night and day difference. It was always way, way less. So he learned a really valuable lesson. It's better for you to sell the idea, even if you sell it with a promise attached to it, and you maybe or even give a discount to it. It doesn't matter. You can say, Frank, this doesn't work. People are not going to buy something you haven't built yet. That's not true. People will buy if they're interested enough. If you hit across the $1 million idea, they're going to want on board, especially if they get a discount. I've bought stuff when it's an idea. You ever heard of sites like GoFundMe? That's exactly what they're doing. They're making a promise that they're going to make something, and you get on board as part of the fund, and this is a viable option. Are you disclosing the idea? Yeah, but you don't need to give away the secret sauce. What you have to do is you have to give them the benefits to what you're trying to create and how it's going to make their life better. That's what's important here. If you're wondering if it works or not, absolutely, it works like a bomb. It really does. And you know something? You're going to find that there's going to be less people who buy initially than after. But that's okay. What you're trying to do is, this is all about saving fast. Throw your ideas on the table and find out which one people gravitate towards. You can take 10 good ideas. And I recommend that you actually take ideas for problems that you got. Oh yeah, I really struggle with the blinds in my office, and I need a better blind, something that's electronic, something like that. I'm just throwing an idea out. So what I would do is I would say, hey, I've got this idea for these electronic blinds. Just open up when you think about it and close when you think about it. How does that sound? And people go, that's a really good idea. I said, well, I'm going to be doing some pre-sales on them before I start mass producing them. I'm willing to give you a 50% discount of $250. Would you be interested? You will get people who will say yes. You have to hold your promises. That's really important. People will trust you once. Now, but let's say you've done all this and you've actually got some initial sales and not just promises. What do you do next? You want to make what I call an MVP. It's not the most valuable player. It's the minimum viable product. You ever notice that we are on version Windows 11? There's a reason for that. There was a version Windows 1, but then 2 came out, and 3, 3.1, 4, 5, yeah, we're up to 11 now. There's a reason for that because it continues to get better and better and better. Bill Gates didn't wait until he had everything perfected. He got out a minimum viable product, and it was revolutionary to the market. When Steve Jobs, he created the iPod. Was it the last iPod he ever made? No, he made new reversions and iPod Mini, and then he made the screen version, which was the prelude to the phone, the iPhone. And the company, even though he's passed away, his company's continuing to evolve and build on that. But he started out with an MVP, a minimum viable product. He could get some initial sales going. When I was selling my Livestream Genius product years ago, I made a minimum product, and it was an ugly product, but it did exactly what it promised. I always say, you want to make sure you got the pig. You want to make sure you got the ham. Okay, this is what people are buying. They're buying this thing that they're going to consume. But now you want to put a wrapping on it. You want to put the lipstick on the pig, so to speak. And I know it might sound offensive, but it sticks in people's minds. I remember a friend of mine who was in the Middle East said to me, yeah, you got to put the lipstick on the camel. And I loved it. Put the lipstick on the camel. So you have to learn that you got to build your MVP and then put the lipstick on it after. Make it a better product. Before I almost gave away the bonus. And the bonus, oh my goodness gracious, you don't want to miss the bonus. I'm going to be getting to it here in a second because it's going to make the difference between making $100,000 and making $1 million. Be sure to subscribe. Do it right now. Subscribe, join the channel. I'll be talking a lot more videos when it comes to making more money. I'm hoping that you're able to take the things that these ideas and do pick yourself up a book. I'm no affiliation to this fellow. It's not me, but this Noah, he's written a pretty good book and it's worthwhile reading, and get yourself cooking. Because if you do what he's talking about here and what I'm talking about in this video, you're going to save fast. Because anything you can make outside of your full-time gig is money you can save. Even if it's $1,000. Boy, $1,000 every month that you're saving that you weren't saving before can make such a difference. But let's get into our bonus. And I made a promise that this takes you from the hundreds of thousands to the millions. And it really does. Listen to customer feedback. When you get your MVP out, your minimum viable product, and you do initial sales on it, talk to your customers. Ask them, what do you like? What do you not like? What do you wish it had? How do you find it? Etc., etc., etc. It's amazing because you'll think that, oh, if they just had this widget over here, it'll make their life so much better. And you talk to the customers and they're like, we don't care about that widget. What we care about is this over here. And you focus on that. In my example, I made a big promise that you can go from the hundreds to the millions. And that's exactly what I did. I was selling the initial product for about 9 months, and I felt that I'd taken it as far as that I want to. Now, everybody always wants more. They always have more ideas, more features, more this, more that. So what I did do is I built a professional version of the tool. Now, I called the old one the standard. Did everything. It was not lacking anything, but if you wanted the professional version that did this and this and this, all these high-end features that customers gave me as feedback, I did put some into the standard version to make sure they felt they got a nice upgrade. But what I did do is I put all the really, oh, that's an awesome idea, into the professional version. And I changed the pricing model on it, and I raised the price significantly on that version. And we went from hundreds to millions, literally. We sold so many licenses so fast. And a little side note here, if you want to make that leap, especially after you've initially designed your first product, you got to do something called chumming the waters. Whenever you want to draw fish into your net, you want to chum the waters. You want to put something in the water that attracts the fish. That's called chumming the waters. I chum the waters all the time. Whenever I am working on something and I'm working towards a better version, or I'm working at releasing a new thing, I chum the waters. I'm continuously, hey, what do you think of this? Or look at this, or look at this new feature I just built. Or even in this job I'm in right now, I chum the waters. What happened was there was a functionality in the program that I was writing that was really clumsy and it didn't work very well. So I said, look, I'm going to take a little extra time and I'm going to show you what I can do. And what I did was, when I got my MVP of this particular piece of the product done, I demonstrated it. I chummed the waters. Look how fast it is. Look how well it works. Look how much better it looks. Oh, yeah, let's keep going, man. Yeah, let's keep doing it. So I chummed the waters, and now they've got this fantastic product that is way beyond their initial expectations, and it's very very fast because of that. But I had to chum the waters because I didn't have approval on this initially. I only got approval in the beginning to just do an MVP. And once I proved the MVP, I chummed the waters with it by demonstrating it and showing it. And as time went on, I was able to sell more and more and more of the idea. And it's brilliant. That's the way you got to do things. And I recommend you do the same thing. I was talking to somebody about a particular niche on YouTube just recently because they're so adamant about this particular hobby they have. I don't want to give it away because it's such a good idea. I said to this person, I said, you are so passionate about this particular hobby, you need to build a YouTube channel and just take all your passion and show the people exactly what your passion and what you're thinking about here. And what we'll do is we'll build a YouTube channel for you, and you can chum the waters with that YouTube channel. And before long, you're going to have a following that's going to want to watch your videos, for one. Two, they're going to want to buy your book that you write, or your course that you do, or your cookbook that you write. Who knows where this is going to go? And it fits him well because he's so passionate about this particular hobby. So I hope this video has helped you out today. This has been a video that talks about saving fast. The fastest way to save is to build new products. Above all else, that's the fastest way to save. But you can get caught in the weeds really easy. The ideas, I'm going to show you the book one more time before we wrap up here, from Noah Kagan, $1 Million Weekend. Very worthwhile to pick up, read it, absorb it, and take action as he talks about here. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I've got another video that talks about, believe it or not, minimalism. Sounds like the exact opposite topic for this video. But it fits well if you're looking at creating wealth in your life. I created it earlier this week, and it's online here for you, and I got a link for you. It should be on the screen right now. If you join me over there, I'd love to see you there. If you don't, thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have an awesome day. Frank Thomas here. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.